If you clicked in this video, you're probably stuck in a plateau. I've been there. You can't get strong on the bench press. You're not seeing more results in your overall shape. And I'm going to teach you a couple methods in this video, how to blast through that and get your results quicker. I'm going to condense it down and speed this up for you. Number one is the fact that every week you're coming in the gym, you do your weights, you put them back, and then you come back in the next week and you're like, what weight did I do? The problem is you're not logging your weights. And as a result, you're having to guess. What is the odds that I remember the exact amount of reps that I done? Can't even remember what I had for lunch yesterday. The reason that this is super important is because we don't have the memory for it. And I think one understated fact about logging your weights that people really mess up on is the fact that you can leave notes for yourself. The 12 kilogram dumbbells for 2 sets were really, really easy. And I got the 8 reps, go up weight, but the third set was extremely difficult. My form was per. You can write you slept per the night before, that might have had an impact. And then that leaves you notes for next week that you can actually review and go back on. That a lot of people underestimate how important it is. Number 2, you drop the weight and then you don't time the rest. Now, I'm not saying you need to take a short rest. I actually think if anything, just make sure you're taking enough timing that you at least take 3 minutes, in my opinion, between big lifts and 2 minutes between smaller lifts. People are like, but I don't have that amount of time to do all these exercises and all these sets with this sort of rest. Quality over quantity and getting stronger is going to be the key. If you do 2 sets and every week you get stronger versus doing 3 sets of a chest press, you're going to have a bigger chest in a year's time, because the person doing 3 sets of the same weight for a year is going to look the goddamn same. Strength comes before muscle. And if you bench 100 kilograms, you won't look like you bench that until you do it for 6 to 12 months of good form. So, number 2. Number 3 is that you're chasing a pump rather than chasing strength. Now, this goes over what I last said. You will see people do all these mad finishers, extra volume, and it just makes no sense. Chasing a pump and just curling for the sake of it is actually just using up your recovery. You're aggravating your joints more and more through tension. And on top of it, you're just overworking a muscle for no extra strength. Stick between the rep range of, for the 95% of your work, 6 to 12 reps, in my opinion. It's very tough to bring a set 15 plus reps. You burn out mentally before you burn out physically, and you need that physical burnout to really stimulate growth. Whereas if you're doing 6 reps of movement, you'll hit failure, not just burnout, because you can't lift the weight for more. So boom. Number 4, you're doing a workout routine and then you change it every 4 weeks. People think, am I doing the same workouts week on week? The answer is yes. You need to do the same workouts for, I would say 8 weeks is really tight. Sometimes I'll do this because of novelty. I do think a wee bit longer can work best depending on your training experience. See, if I do this chest press, right? You might learn a machine a little bit quicker, but see the first 3 to 4 weeks, you're still getting used to the movement. You're still figuring out your weight. Even if you're hitting true failure, and it is failure for you, your body is still adapting to skill acquisition. Because if I was to go and do, say, a dumbbell press, right? Whenever I pick up the dumbbells, this isn't a true representation of my strength. The reason being is because you have to get the skill acquisition. The stabilizer muscles still need to adapt, and that's on pretty much every movement. If you do a block for 8 weeks, the first 3 to 4 weeks, maybe even longer, you could still be getting skill acquisition. And that's why whenever you swap movements, you're sore a lot of the time, but it doesn't mean you're growing more. So what I would recommend is doing a block for as long as you can. I've run some for 20 plus weeks. Yes, it's boring, but it works. Otherwise, I wouldn't be this size. We'll move to the next point, which is what that leads into. Point number 5, which is you do not need to be sore. A lot of people chase the pump, chase the different workouts to feel sore because they feel like you need it to build muscle. You don't. Science pretty much shows that you don't want this. It's fine the first while you work out because your body's adapting to it. But if you're sore after every single workout where you're chasing soreness, that's a clear sign that you're actually doing too much for your body to recover. Remember, the goal is to work out, adapt to the stimulus, and then grow. If you don't give yourself recovery, that means you're doing too many sets, you're hitting the muscle group too often, you're chasing the soreness with just more and more volume. That is the worst type of thinking. Remember, the goal is to get stronger, not chase a pump, not chase soreness. So stop chasing soreness. Research backs this. You want to recover, get stronger, move on. Next up, you have no plan in the gym. What I would recommend before you go to the gym is you want to bring a plan in the gym. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about anything. See, the simpler it is, you're more than likely going to enjoy it. It's not going to be too long. You're going to get stronger week on week. You're going to see progress, and you're going to be motivated to go because you know that strength is the most important thing, because that will bring the muscle after. Then you will stick to it. Going in the gym, just going, do you know what? I'll just do a bit of this today and a bit of that, and then you're doing 3 days 1 week for the next. That is one of the worst mistakes you can get. Same as program hopping, it's just as bad. Very nutty boy. Guess what this one is? You're doing too much high intensity cardio. The reason we don't want to do too much high intensity, and you'll get everybody doing high rocks and CrossFit, if you enjoy that, absolutely go for it. But if you want to build as much muscle as possible, this won't hinder it, but it will slow it down slightly. If your goal is not that, it's to build as much muscle as fast as possible. We're optimizing here. See, when I do the likes of like a HIIT class and I'm doing burpees, I'm doing fucking ski ergs, you are using carbs. And when you use your carbs fuel source, you're also fatiguing your central nervous system. You're doing all these fucking mad, shitty movements. And whenever you use the carbs like that, I want to highlight that you're taking them away from your weight session. So at least put your weight session first. Put your cardio on your rest days. And I would recommend alternatively doing steps or low intensity. If you keep your heart rate below, say, 130 beats, that means you're likely going to use fat. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you're using the belly fat. It means you're using the fat source because it's lower intensity. It's not going to impact your recovery. You're keeping all the carbs for your weight sessions. Your pumps are going to be better. You're going to notice less fatigue. And the goal is to train muscles and then recover and grow. Really simple thing. Too much high intensity, doing it too many days a week, once or twice, is a lot as is. So just be mindful. The next one is you're focusing too much on the 1%. So you're spending all your time in ChatGPT asking the best supplements. What does Tomcat Ali do? What peptide should I be taking? You don't even nail your nutrition, your sleep, and your training. So stop focusing on the 1%, the icing on the cake, before you've actually baked the cake. If you're not nailing training consistently for 6 months, nutrition consistently, sleep, stress management, and if you're not nailing these basics, don't even worry about supplements, because these 1% are actually what slow you down, because you're thinking that these are like a cheat code. Well, that's not how this works. Like, if it did, I would do that. It doesn't. It's not that easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Do the basics well, and you'll get results. It's just tough. And I think this is 10. If not, I apologize, because I have no clue. I just said a number. I was like, that sounds good. You could not be making any mistakes. And if you're making this one, you'll never see results. It is the fact that you're not taking your sleep as serious as your training. So what we want to think about here is not just we need 7.5 hours a night. We need good quality sleep. There's some research starting to come out now that the timing of your sleep is just as important. So your circadian rhythm, which is pretty much your sleep and wake cycles, are the same. I want you to focus on quality, quantity, and also trying to keep the time the same. That is going to help you maximize growth hormone release and recovery. So making sure you don't eat too close to sleep is really important. The general rule is 3-2-1 or 10-3-2-1. So 10 hours out, no caffeine. 3 hours out, no food. 2 hours out, no water. 1 hour out, no phone, no blue light. So that will help with the quality. That will help with your growth hormone release once you go to sleep. Your testosterone, your hormones, your mood, your energy, everything is looked after there. And when we break this down, if you don't take your sleep seriously, you won't see the results. And look, they are the 10 mistakes that if you're making, you're not going to see the same sort of results. I hope you've liked that. I hope you laughed, learned something. If you did, I'd appreciate a like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Big love. Whoa!